believe passionately in entrepreneurial fire, in giving everyone, everywhere, the chance to do their best and feel even better. We believe in you. We're here to empower every beautiful dimension of you. And at Mary Kay, we know we've all got a few things in common. We're all worthy of a community that understands us. We all deserve flexibility, and we should get to run our day instead of it running us. So maybe that's what brought you here to get to know us. Mary Kay has been a groundbreaking, trailblazing company for more than 60 years, and we follow in the footsteps of the original beauty influencer. Like many women in the 60s, Mary Kay Ash was not treated fairly in the workplace, so she made a change and founded a company that gives everyone the opportunity they deserve. Today, Mary Kay continues to be family-owned and continues empowering others in more than 35 countries. We are a company driven by the idea that you can do what you love, be who you want, and earn extra income on your terms. Our idea is powerful in its simplicity. First, Mary Kay creates hundreds of products that people crave. And yes, we win industry awards. Conduct 500,000 tests a year for safety, quality, and performance. Hold more than 1,600 global patents. And products are made in our own global manufacturing and research facility. Because what gets us really excited is how much people love our products. Because your confidence is our obsession. Next, we keep the business model beautifully simple too. Independent beauty consultants are 100% independent business owners. They buy directly from Mary Kay, then sell directly to customers to earn money. That's it. No wholesalers, no middlemen, no one holding them back, period. They enjoy the flexibility to work a Mary Kay business a lot or a little at parties, online, and on social, all while learning life skills from others and getting digital tools to help along the way. And if they're ready to lead a team of their own, they can drive the business as far as they want. Beauty consultants have one of the highest profit potentials on product sales in the world. Plus, at Mary Kay, they're always celebrated. Small wins are recognized, and big accomplishments are richly rewarded by a community of entrepreneurs and corporate employees around the world. Working together, we've also built a long history of giving. Mary Kay and its 4 company-sponsored foundations has given more than $200 million in monetary and product donations since we began tracking our philanthropic efforts. We support life-saving research and survivor empowerment with more than $24 million awarded to cancer research innovation from the Mary Kay Ash Foundation. And we strive to protect the environment by planting more than 1 million trees, powering our global headquarters and manufacturing with 100% renewable energy, and achieving zero landfill site status in our global manufacturing facility. We are a brand with a purpose, and we hope you see the amazing potential we see for a bright future together. This is where you can come to thrive. This is where you can unleash your confidence. This is Mary Kay, empowering women entrepreneurs since 1963. Then, now, always.
Hello, welcome everyone to Winning Wednesday. And I want to say thank you to Dawn, our National Sales Director, for asking me to be a guest today. I'm very honored. I always love hearing the other consultants' stories. And so today I get to share my story and I'm excited. So thank you for those of you who are joining, whether you are a consultant or a customer or just somebody who is coming to check out a Winning Wednesday. I just want to welcome all of you. So my name is Amy Tate, and I will tell you a little bit about myself in general, and then my before Mary Kay and when I started selling Mary Kay, and after my before, now, and future story with Mary Kay. And then I'm going to demonstrate the skincare set that I use, which is the Time Wise Miracle Set. So just in general, I'm 42. I have 2 kids, one who just graduated. My son is 17 and my daughter just finished elementary school. So she is going to be 12 this year and she'll be starting 6th grade. I also, just as less than a year ago became a licensed minister. So I haven't quite gotten used to Reverend Amy, but I am Reverend Amy. I am a licensed minister, and I run a nonprofit called Art of God Ministry, and that is my full-time job. And I am the founder and president of Art of God Ministry, and the mission of Art of God Ministry is to help women and children prevent and overcome abuse. So before I started selling Mary Kay, I had the unfortunate situation in the past of I've experienced a lot of abuse throughout my life, every kind that there is. Uh, so as a survivor of abuse, one of the things that I was doing really to learn more about what does it mean to be a victim of abuse, what kind of things can you possibly do to maybe prevent it from happening and how to recover. I was going to a support group at a women's shelter, and when I went there, they had something called a free closet. So you can go and check out the free closet, and they have food and hygiene products and clothes and just a variety of stuff that's either used or brand new. And one day I went to check out the free closet, and they had Mary Kay products. And so I was able to get eyeliner and mascara, and they were really just like handing it out, like, take it, take it. They had a lot. And so I really ended up with about a year's worth supply of eyeliner and mascara. And at that time, I was a single mom in crisis, really just literally trying to keep my head up. There were days where I got my head on the arm of the couch, and I just like I felt so heavy. I felt physically heavy from all the emotional heaviness going on. So it was a really tough time, but the Mary Kay makeup, I was able to have not only makeup, which I felt guilty to buy because I was on food stamps, and outside of the food stamps had about a $50 food budget. Um, and so I felt like if I buy makeup, even some cheap, like Dollar General or something, mascara, I'm taking food off of my child's plate. So to get that, not only to have the makeup for free, but to have a good high quality brand that I knew was a trustworthy name, it just blessed me so much. And I was able to just feel seen and valued and beautiful and important. And, I just really wanted to give that consultant a really big hug. I wished I could have met the person who donated that product, so she could know how much it meant to me. And then about probably, gosh, I want to say, I don't know if exactly, maybe between 7 to 10 years later, um, my my sister was selling, or not selling. I always say selling, but she was a personal use consultant for Mary Kay. So she basically wanted to get the product at the consultant rate without selling it. So she just wanted it for personal use at the discount, which is 50%. If you didn't know that, the consultants get the product at 50%. And so when we sell the products, that's what we make is 50%. And when we buy the products for ourselves, we get that 50% discount. So someone had bought the starter kit for her, paid for her to sign up, and she really wasn't trying to sell it. She just wanted to get the product at the discount. And so she asked if my mom and I would help her to, continue to get that discount by also placing orders. So she wasn't the only one placing orders. So we did that. It was super fun. We loved trying different products. And, after 5 years of doing that, definitely got hooked on my favorites. The CC cream was one of them, oil-free eye makeup remover, one of my best friends, which I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But those are just to name a few of the products that I was just like, I got to have this. Once you find your mascara and, some of these things that you're using on a regular basis, it's like you don't want to have to go out and start over finding something else. And so when she decided at the beginning of this year that she was going to actually start selling Mary Kay. And so when she decided to sell Mary Kay, I didn't feel it would be fair for me to be getting, her discount and just getting the products from her half off that way. And so we decided that it would be best for me to also become a consultant. But at the time, I was just so busy with family and building out the nonprofit, because even though I got the vision for that in 2010, I wasn't able to actually do it full time until November of 2021. So it was a long wait and it was very hard to wait that long. And, there was just a lot of things that the Lord had to do to stretch me in the process. Um, so anyway, though, when I started, when I became a personal use consultant, I thought there was no way, with growing the business that's still in the infancy stages, managing family, and I volunteer in ministry. So just all the different things that I had going on, I felt already too busy. And also, as a survivor of abuse, unfortunately, I have been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. And so, I've had to work hard to learn how to manage anxiety, depression. And, I feel like I've come a really long way to where those things are manageable, but I still have to be intentional and work at it. And then on top of that, last summer in July, I got hurt camping and ended up with a concussion that did not heal. 80%, 80 to 90% of people who get a concussion heal within 2 weeks. Mine didn't. It's been like 10, almost a year. It's getting almost a year now. So I had to, deal with then a traumatic brain injury and going through rehabilitation and dealing with neurofatigue, where my energy level when I wake up is 50% instead of 100% at a good night's sleep. So with everything that I was juggling, I was just like, okay, definitely not going to do anything more than be a personal use consultant, because I just wanted the half off product. And I got, because of that story that I had as a survivor of abuse and how much the product meant to me to get it for free, and because of then being in a position with a nonprofit for survivors of abuse, I knew there was something there that could kind of marry in the future. And I wanted to make that connection and be able to bless survivors of abuse. But I was just like, I can't put anything more on my plate. So I was real clear with Alden about that, real clear with my sister, and they both encouraged me to go to a conference, Mary Kay conference that was in March. And I went there, and on the way there, I really just reiterated to my sister, like, I just have to keep my priorities in order. I want you to know, I know this is going to be fun and exciting, but I'm not going to be able to dive in and do sales or anything like that right now. And I said, I just, the Bible tells us we got to keep God first and family second. And then our career or ministry it has to be third. And so I was just like, I had my plan. And then we got there, the Christian music is playing, and, I was already just like moved by Holy Spirit. And right up front at the beginning of the conference, I think that it was Dawn, but I'm not 100% sure. But one of the speakers was saying, Mary Kay Ash built this company on the foundation of God first and family second and career third. And my sister and I are just like, okay. We looked at each other like, and that to me was a confirmation. Like, I felt that. It's like, all right, I'm going to listen, and I'm going to listen with an open mind. And one thing too that I learned, just a quick side note, going through the ministry licensing program, one of the most like critical revelations that I had was that when God gives you a vision and a calling, that you don't hold it with a closed fist. And that was me. I was like, I've got to guard it. Anything that God tells me to do, like, just back off. I got like, I would feel like I've got to be so diehard in guarding it. But what I was taught is you hold it with an open hand and you let the Lord, have his way and lead you. And I was like, wow, that was a paradigm shift for me. And so then going into that situation where I started getting those confirmations from the Lord about Mary Kay, and when I started to see, like, there's leadership training, I heard stories of people being led to the Lord through Mary Kay Consultants, and I was like, oh, there's, this leadership training. There's learning about lead generations, which I could use that for my ministry, and just the relationship building, everything with it, just the whole culture of women determined to thrive, and that Mary Kay Ash wanted women to feel important, feel special, to be paid what they're worth. And so I loved the culture, the community, and I just, like I said, I kept getting those confirmations. And so I knew the Lord was revealing to me, He wanted me to do this not instead of, but in tandem with. And I actually once did tandem skydiving. If anybody else was crazy and wild enough to do skydiving, it was awesome. I'm good with doing it one time, but so that word tandem, I had that person that he was like, we were attached. He was attached to my back, and we jumped out of a plane. And so, anyways, that's what I think about with tandem, and that the Lord wants me to, put these businesses back to back and have the Mary Kay business be an opportunity to build connections with women, and that He, through my obedience and faithfulness, if I do that, He will lead survivors of abuse into my ministry. And it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to connect with, like I've got prayer groups through Art of God Ministry, but He wants me to be able to share my testimony. So that was my before and my now. And well, one more thing that recently happened after I did my first Facebook party, which I was just like so chicken about, but Alden coached me through that. And once I did it and I shared my story, I had someone say they were donating $100 per quarter to buy makeup for survivors of abuse. And so then the next time I had one of the prayer groups for survivors of abuse, I was able to bring the Mary Kay product, and so they could walk in and get their free makeup, their mascara, eyeliner, and then I had a couple other things out too, just to have a variety, because I wasn't sure what people were going to want. Um, and then as I've gotten into it and just learned about the opportunity financially, it's like, yeah, it would definitely help my family if I could get the car. And I'm not going to put limits on what God's going to do in my life. So I'm going to listen to Alden and, listen to Dawn and these other ladies who are coming alongside me to do this with me. And, just see what doors can be opened. Let's see, there was something else. Oh, yes. My daughter goes to a Christian school, and it costs $715 a month. So I have made it my dream to use the Mary Kay business to pay for her private education. She was going to public school, and she asked in fourth grade, she asked, could I go to a Christian school? And so we're like, we want to honor that. So she does, and we love it, and we want to be able to afford it. It's definitely been a shift, and everybody's felt a shift in finances lately. So I got into it for the relationship and the calling that the Lord put on my life to build relationships with women. But then through that, He's showing me, like, I'm going to use this to provide for you. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and start showing my skincare set. So this is, first of all, the bag. You can take this one off. This is the Mary Kay roll-up bag. And as you can see, like, to start with, I had it like this. So you can carry it, you can travel with it. It's going to look different depending on, how filled it is. But you can fit all sorts of things. I like to use, when I demo, I like to have the set in the order that it goes, because it helps to simplify it. Not just for people I'm showing it to, but also it just makes it quick and easy for me as well. So the first one is the Time-Wise 4-in-1 cleanser. And so they have this for 2 different skin types. So you can either, if you have normal to dry skin, then that we have a product for you. But also if you have combination to oily skin, then we have another one. So it used to be that there was just one, but now, over time, the company recognized that there's different skin types. And so you can work with your consultant to help you figure out which one is going to be the best for you. I personally would recommend that if you don't know for sure that you have combination to oily skin, then go with the normal to dry. That's just been what I have found from my own experience and with my customers so far, is that, yeah, if you really need the combination to oily, you'll definitely know. So if you're not sure, I would recommend going with the normal to dry skin. Okay. Oh, and when you put this on, you're gonna go up and out. So just do those up and outward motions. And gravity is already pulling our skin down, so we don't need to help that out, right, ladies? And then there are two different, the routine for daytime and nighttime is a little bit different. And I know we're in the evening, but I'm going to go ahead and show what would be next for daytime. You're going to want to do this twice a day. So the next one would be the Time-Wise Antioxidant Moisturizer. And this one, again, you're going to check to make sure you're getting the right one for your skin type. So both of these, you're going to either have it in the normal to dry skin or combination oily. Oh, I'm going to pause. There's one thing I wanted to do that I forgot to do. And I mentioned one of my besties. This is another one of my besties, my two best friends. So I like to, before I get going with the skincare set, I had mentioned this was one that got me hooked. This is oil-free eye makeup remover. I had not ever had a product like this before. It's an eye makeup remover that it doesn't hurt your eyes at all. You don't even need water. So you're just gonna put some of it on here and then, gently remove the makeup off your eyes, and it works brilliantly, and it just leaves you feeling like silky and soft and clean. And I know my sister was telling me one time, she was like, you gotta have it. She sold me on this, and she demonstrated, and she told me about how she showed our cousin, and our cousin was like, that's it. When she watched her use it, like, what? That's it? It's gone. And so anyways, this one, and if you can, if you're going to double cleanse, you can start with the micellar water. But also another nice thing is, if you're just in a rush and you're like, really, I want to encourage you to use the full set. But sometimes we have to improvise and compromise, and things don't always go as planned. So if you don't have as much time, you can take a little bit of a shortcut, and you can use the micellar water. It does not require using the sink. So again, you're going to put it on here, and then you can use that same motion of up and out for this as well, but you're going to clean your skin with that. So these, I would say, bare minimum, at least be using these. And I know I'm doing the daytime right now, so I'm kind of jumping around, but definitely at night, if nothing else, if you wore eye makeup, please use this. If you whether or not you had any makeup on, use this one at least to help you get off, whatever the day has added to your skin. One of the things too, when I was reading through the products, and it talks about how the skincare line, this Time-Wise Miracle Set, part of the purpose of it is going to support and protect your skin. And I was like, those two key words are so for me, the whole story of being a survivor of abuse, finding support, having the right support network, and knowing how to protect yourself, and have people who are going to help protect you. So that helped me to remember, okay, these are keywords: support and protect, and we can support and protect our skin. And one of the things I've learned through being a beauty consultant with Mary Kay is that the natural aging process, about 20% of our aging is the natural aging process, and that other 80% is stuff that we could actually prevent, that we could help to to slow that aging, that we could protect and support our skin by using quality products like the Time Wise Miracle Set. Okay, so back to the morning. So daytime, it's going to be the 4-in-1 cleanser. Secondly, your antioxidant moisturizer. And then third is the daytime defender. So Time Wise Daytime Defender sunscreen, broadband spectrum. This has SPF 30. One thing I love about having this as part of my daily skincare regimen is that my mom is actually a breast cancer survivor, and also she has had skin cancer removed more than once. I also have an aunt and uncle who have had skin cancer removed. And so, my mom is pretty big on making sure I'm wearing something on my skin if I'm going to be outside. And so I love just not, there's times where end up being out in the community, not planning on being out in the sun. And then, I'm feeling it. And so I like that I'm just always going to have the SPF 30 on. And then also I think I mentioned that one of the other products that I had really got to love before I became a consultant was the CC cream. And that also, I'm just pulling that out because it also has SPF 15 in it. So, but back to this. So this is number 3 for your daytime. And that's actually the 3 that you would use for the Time Wise Miracle Set. But if you want to go for the Time Wise Ultimate skincare, the Time Wise Ultimate, you can make it ultimate by adding on the eye cream. And so, if you're getting the crow's feet around the eyes, or sometimes, right around here, you'll see the skin looking a little bit weak. This one, oh, I didn't show, this has a pump, so it's pretty easy to know how much you're going to use when that comes out. And same type of motion, with each of these, that you're going to go upward and outward when you put those on. This one, it's a little bit different because you're going to want to use your ring finger, and you'll put a dab of this on the ring finger. And the reason that we use the ring finger is because it's the weakest finger, and that area around the eye is so fragile. So you want to be really careful with that. And so you're going to just tap gently, and you want to start there and come around. So you're going to do that on both eyes, and about half of a pea size. These products, when you're using that small amount that you need, they go a long way. And so if you are using these faithfully every morning and every night, I know this one we don't do at night. I'm going to show you the night one. But if you are using these twice a day, every day, then the products should last about 2 months. If you are not already in the habit of having a skincare regimen, then you might not be 100% faithful, or even if you are, there might be times, like I said, sometimes, you might be totally wiped out and you end up not using all of these. So they're going to last based on how much you use it. But if you were using it like the maximum amount and the recommended amount per use, they're going to last you about 2 months. So in most cases, it might last, 3 months or longer, but just depends on the person. So daytime would be the 4-in-1 cleanser, the antioxidant moisturizer, the daytime defender. And then if you want to make it the ultimate set, which I would recommend, then you're going to add on the eye cream. And one thing with eye care products, these ones, you're going to keep them away from the eyes. So, they don't need to come all the way up, the ones that are not for the eyes. But the products that are used by the eyes, you do want to make sure that they say the word eye on it. And that way, that it is safe for that, really sensitive, fragile area. And you don't have to get it like super, super close, because it's going to absorb up. So you're going to kind of come, when you're doing that, you're just tapping, and you don't have to get too close into the eye. Okay, so the one I didn't show you yet is if we're doing this at nighttime, then we don't need our sunscreen to go to bed. So then then it's going to be, oops, this one first. I just lost my eye cream. So the 4-in-1 cleanser is going to go first. And then secondly, the nighttime recovery. And this is another product that my mom, as a skincare survivor, she's a consultant now too. She's on my team, but she swears by this because she had a spot that on her chest, she had a spot that it was questionable. And because of her background, she has to be so careful with, noticing anything that looks a little bit different on her skin. And so she saw kind of like a dryish spot she wasn't sure about, but she was using this. And, we want to use it on our face, our neck, and the area here at the top of our chest. So she was, doing that. But she put this specifically on the area, and then it actually made it go away. And so she then did not have to go through that horrible process of going and like getting it checked out and, sometimes waiting for answers and just all of that. So she got to skip that and she was so relieved. So she said she swears by the nighttime recovery. And I love just the feel of it, the clean, silky feel of it. So that would be second at nighttime. And then you can also do your moisturizer. And then again, our eye cream got away. So the eye cream last. So then it's going to be, and yep, it's for the nighttime. And then I just have to show, I recently got enough people on my team to become a Red Jacket Achiever. And I was sent, thank you, I was sent this as a gift from Alden, and this is a liquid lipstick. And so that's what I'm wearing right now. Made sure to wear some red to match it. So I wanted to showcase that too. I love this. All right, that's it.
Alden's going to share
Okay.
how the products come in the special that everyone can take advantage of. And here we go.
Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, it didn't show for a second. So this is the Skincare, the Time Wise Miracle Set and Eye Cream that Amy showed so beautifully, and the travel roll-up bag. And the special for watching this live or on replay and getting back to your consultant is you can purchase the skincare set and eye cream and get the travel bag that she showed at half off. So those are our Winning Wednesday specials for tonight.
And then also they can ask their consultant the 2 ways to get 50% off. So that would be hostessing a party for your consultant. Or like Amy was sharing, consultants buy their products at half off. They buy for $1, sell for $2. So you could get half off on your own products and do, really that was Amy's, her first introduction was through the shelter. The second introduction then was with her sister, and then getting their products at cost. So we're going to start, we're going to do a little conversation because Mary Kay Ash was alive when I started my Mary Kay business 38 years ago. And so she always asks us, when you share the product, also share how this opportunity works. And so Amy's sharing, how her life intersected with the Mary Kay opportunity is a great example. Like, you may not have a story of abuse. You don't have Amy's story. It's Amy's story, but you have a story. All women, all human beings have a story because God created you purposefully. Mary Kay created this business and said it would always continue on after she was gone if we did 3 things: that we encouraged that story to come out, that she believed God created every human for a purpose, and it was our job to encourage that giant out. Also, the God family career priority system, which Mary Kay always believed was the things worked out best in her life when she worked like that. And so she encouraged us to, check that out, which was a new concept for me. That was not what I was taught when I went to business school at the University of Michigan at all. And so I was fascinated that this woman started a business on that. But I'm grateful that we're independent contractors, and especially in this day and age, that we can share that. Like we're not mandated by political correctness. We're not mandated by being employees. We can share that, this business is based on God, family, career, and also according to doing your business by the golden rule. So if you're watching this and you have a consultant, you're buying your products from your consultant. You're not calling Amy for the products or me or someone else. We always refer people back to their consultants because this isn't about who sells the most. It's who serves women the best through this product and this opportunity. So Amy shared, why she's doing the business. I wanted to touch on a couple of things because in my 38 years, I think that two of the most common objections that hold women back from starting Mary Kay businesses is one, I'm too busy, like Amy was saying, like my plate's already full. And we used to kind of casually say, like, you want to recruit busy women because busy women get the most done. And there is something very true about that, but I want to dig into that a little bit more because obviously Amy has seen that the value of intertwining this with her life, but busy could have held her back. And that makes me sad because then everyone here wouldn't have heard the story, and there's what's on my YouTube channel, who knows who's going to hear it. So I want to talk about that a little bit. And also Amy's talked about, she went to an event, which I love that quarterly we have events. Right now we're getting ready to go to Dallas in August, 4 times a year. There's a time to gather together and get plugged in and get sharpened and get filled up. That's unique for our business, but so important because Mary Kay Ash also taught me that you are in your own business, but she never wanted you to feel alone. She always wanted you to feel like you're part of community and that you're being encouraged and cheered on, even though it is your own business. And Amy, starting a nonprofit, starting a business, that's an entrepreneurial endeavor. And I know that when you start, unless it's a franchise, a franchise nonprofit, no one, like, it took you 11 years to get to this point. Like, you don't have someone that's already done it teaching you how to do it because it's a new endeavor. And so I'd like to talk about that a little bit. So you had a lot going on when you started. What can you share with these women who are busy? So they may be consultants and they're trying to figure out, like, how could they do more? What could that look like? Or they're women listening to this that are considering, they want the benefits of Mary Kay, but how could it ever work? How have you fit this in? I know your director Alden shared that you're very good with time blocking. And so I'd like you to share that concept because I think that could be beneficial for everyone who hears this.
Okay. Yeah, actually in Mary Kay's autobiography, Miracles Happen, she talked about how she would pick like the top 6 things that needed to be done for the day and kind of work through that list. And so what I ended up doing is taking that concept and expanding it to, like, I chunked my life into 3 sections: at my family, the nonprofit, and the Mary Kay business. And then I picked, so I just, like, my 6, I'm not going to get all 6 from each category done every day, but I've got my top 6, and I actually made a spreadsheet to kind of keep them organized and prioritize and track the progress. But then I looked at, okay, where are my blocks of time that are dedicated to, number 1 to start with, and get through number 1 and go on to the next. And so some of the things I know some people are going to be like, la, 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 but you can get up a little bit earlier. No, we don't like to do that, but that takes discipline too, to go to bed at a good time. So, that's something that is hard. But when you keep your goals in mind, like we, doing this Chop Wood, Carry Water Bible study and all kinds of things to help us remember how to keep our goals in front of us. But anyways, yeah, so I could look at, okay, well, I could work on, and when I really nail it, I can go up and do some housework before, at the beginning of the day, and I could be listening to the boot camp trainings audio while I'm, doing some laundry and doing some housework in the morning. And I enjoy listening to the training, so it kind of makes me enjoy doing laundry a little bit more too. And I can stop and take notes, or I can be like, okay, I want to go back and like sit down and study this, but at least I'm getting that information. Or, I also will listen to those sometimes when I'm driving. But then, so just in the morning, getting some cleaning done, I could listen to a training. I also can listen through like the voice memos on Voxer. And then I'll try to have an hour of Mary Kay time before I start my job. So, I could get up at 5, have my devotion time, get a little bit of cleaning done, get some Mary Kay time in, and then start at 7. And even if there was a morning where I didn't do it that way, I have other Mary Kay times blocked in. So I set it up to where I have 12 hours. Like I have the hour after I get off work, but there's some days where I have to work later. And so some of that gets taken out of. And, so I blocked out where there's 12 hours throughout each week. But if I don't get all of the 12, which to be honest, I typically don't, but I'm going to get a whole lot more than if I was just like, we'll see what happens. So, and then what I can do with those blocks of time is I I went back recently because of the study that we're doing that's really focusing on the process. It made me feel like I need to go back and look at my new consultant packet because, Alden sent this nice packet with, laid out, this is all the things you need to do to start with. So I was like, what have I not done yet? Flipping through the pages. And through that and the trainings that I've been reviewing, I realized I wasn't using that weekly planner and I wasn't using the financial tracking sheet. So, I mean, we have all the tools and resources. We have a coach that, that can help us and a team that can encourage us. So going back and looking at it, so it's like, okay, I've got my time block on the calendar, my time frames, and then I've got the planning sheet. And so I'm like, okay, take my spreadsheet, look at my top 6, and then, put those, where are they going to happen in those time blocks throughout the week? And I shared this in one of the groups before, but just, Alden had to remind me 2 things: to take breaths and give myself grace. So, we're going to do the best that we can. I'm not always, like I said, I'm not, maybe rarely going to be able to maximize the 12 hours that I blocked out, but I'm going to keep getting better and better. And another thing she mentioned is some of the things that it's like, feel like, oh, like just doing that first Facebook party. And then it had such a good outcome, and so then you can start shifting your mindset to the outcome. But she was saying how things are going to become second nature. So right now it's all this learning, and I want to encourage any new consultants, or anyone that might become a new consultant, that it can feel very overwhelming in the beginning because, you're getting emails and text messages and you're like, learning using the Voxer app and different ways of communication. And you're practicing it as you go. That was one thing Alden really encouraged me to, watch a boot camp training, do a party. And so my whole first month was the training and the party. Sorry, I got something popped up that's blocking me and I can't get it to go away, but I'm gonna pretend it's not there and try to stay focused. Oh, and then it went away. Perfect. So let's see, kind of distracted me there for a minute, but could you remind me what I was just saying?
Well, and you were talking about the time blocking, and
Yeah.
I'd like to lead into then the next thing, because I think you did an excellent job with the time. The second thing that I hear that hold women back is fear. It's like this fear. I'm not fearful that I'm not the right personality, fearful that I don't know how to get customers, because you don't if you haven't been trained, fearful that my friends and family won't be supportive, fearful that, fill in the blank. My town's too small. My town's too big. I don't know how to use technology. I'm not an extrovert. I'm not the salesperson type, like fearful. So it's time, fear of some of those things, or, I don't have the money to get started, which that one's pretty easy. If you don't have, it's $35 now will show that. Actually, Alden, could you pop that up? You have a e-start that is non-negotiable. You get credit card processing and a website. Then you can add on a $90 Pro Start, which is my favorite because that gives you over $400 worth of product and all your tools to do your business virtually or in person. And you can add on a $45, so it's $35. The e-start, we've had some different promotions going on with that. So $35 plus 90 is my favorite. You can add on the product samples for 45. So if you don't, like, I did not have the 125 to start my business. I had to write a post-dated check, even though I had a job that you needed a business degree for and was making what was considered a good income then. Now, you know, I see the statistics. Credit card debt is the highest it's ever been in the United States of America. And it cost people at the gas pump and at the grocery store, just regular living is costing a family of four $12,000 more a year to do exactly the same thing. And so if you don't have that money, we need to figure out how to get you that money. And I've seen women do creative things like borrow $10 from 10 people as investors in your business, give them half off on their first order, pay them back, you know, when you have your first sales. When people start businesses, they get investors. Like, we'll help you figure it out. Do not allow $125 to, you know, hold you back from having an avenue of income so that you are not really just a victim of the economy, which you can't control. So that's the money part, but let's talk about the fear part, because I know that you've referenced the coaching, the leadership, the value of that. Especially with the perspective that you have from starting your own business over the last 11 years. Please share that with everyone, because I think that in one fell swoop, like it takes care of the whole fear thing and takes it off the plate as a concern because of how Mary Kay is set up with this program that no one starts as a trainer. I had a business degree. They said, great, here, congratulations, you're getting a starter kit. And I started just like Amy did 38 years ago, just like your consultant did. Everyone starts the same way. And as Amy has a red jacket on, she's proven to the company that she's sharing product, and she's shared the opportunity with at least 3 people. Now, then she's going to move on and she'll have 10 people on her team so that she can then be paid to train. She can go into a director qualification process, but people don't train unless they know how to train. So share the value of this mentoring, coaching, leadership culture that we have in Mary Kay, and we will wrap this up with that, because I think then we've pretty much done a full circle for people.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to give props to Alden because she's just been awesome. You know, I think of like Moses, who, you know, he had people to come and like help hold up his arms, and, you know, like that's what it's like to have a mentor, that to know, like, I don't have to do this alone. If it starts to feel heavy or complicated, she's already been through it. So, you know, Alden is my sales director. So I have definitely taken advantage, and I hope she never regrets when she said to me, you can never talk to me too much. She said,
Mhm.
the more I hear from you, the better. Don't feel like you're bugging me. And I needed to know that. So I want to make sure you all know that, you know, your sales director wants to hear from you, because that shows that you're trying. And when you're trying and you're willing to be teachable, you know, you don't know how far you can go until you try it.
Mhm.
So yeah, she definitely, you know, she redirects my thinking. She gives me a different perspective from the other side of it. You know, a lot of what I've struggled with, she makes me feel normal because she's already been through it. So she can,
Mhm.
you know, share that. And if I like resources that are already available, but I'm still sorting it out, you know, where can I find, you know, and she can direct me to things. And also the prioritizing, because, you know, if it's like, oh man, I really am not going to have the time I want this week. So I can let Alden know what's going on with changes in my schedule and say, like, what's the most important thing, you know, or I
Mhm.
didn't start out always asking that, but that's what I've learned, that she will help me prioritize. So
Mhm.
that you know, if I say like, okay, this is how much time, this is what I think I'm going to do. And you might be like, oh, you know, that's not as important. Do this first. This is your
Uh-huh.
most important. If you can't do anything else, do this one, you know.
Hmm.
Even when I felt like, you know, I was really gung-ho with the parties, but I felt like I wasn't recruiting. And then she started talking to me about, you know, let's shift to focusing on the pearls of sharing. And I got 2 more recruits. And it was, you know, she said 1 in 5. I said, I don't think I'm very good at recruiting. And she was like, why do you say that? You know, and then she told me statistically 1 out of 5 women who hear the opportunity will want to get on board with it. And so by the time I think we were at 9, we had 2 women interested
Hmm.
after the first
Yep.
9 pearl sharing. And, you know, they didn't, I'm learning now ways, we were recently talking about how to get them, you know, signed up faster to help them with that process. But it's a learning curve. So we've always got that coach to help. And she never makes me feel bad about, you know, like I'm coming up short. It's usually me being more critical and her like encouraging me, like, give yourself some grace. You're 3
Mhm.
months in, you're doing great, you know. So yeah, I think, does that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think you did such a great job, Amy, in demonstrating the product, because what I love about Mary Kay is that it's duplicatable. And so everyone that saw you demonstrate the product could do the same thing because you learned that from watching Alden do it, from watching the training videos, and from then doing it. Also,
Mhm.
to I don't think if there's a woman out there that's listening to this, if there's something about this business that's tugging on your heart, I think that you've pretty much overcome all the objections and answered all their concerns. So
And
for the guest, pardon me,
I did
your
have the
flip chart.
flip chart here just
Yes.
in case, you know,
Oh,
so we don't have to memorize stuff. We have
I love it.
everything.
It's such, I mean, this business it is like a franchise. It's in that it's very duplicatable. And when you stick to what's worked for 60 years, it always works the best. And you're choosing to play by the rules of the game. So I am not surprised that in our Chopwood Carry Water, you're our first new red jacket. And I believe that you're going to be an amazing director because you love women and you love impacting women's lives. And you found that this is now just another vehicle for you to be able to
Yeah.
be connected with more women. And Mary Kay Ash, again, she also told us your paycheck is a direct proportion to Mary Kay to how many women's lives that you impact. So I believe that there is going to be a bright financial future for you and your family. For guests that just watched, if there's any of the products that you're interested in, the set, you can take advantage of that roll-up bag special, or be a hostess or a consultant. Guest, I would love you to share with your consultant what stood out to you, that you heard tonight, that you liked. What did you not know before about Mary Kay before you started listening? Um, why would you start a Mary Kay business? If you ever did, why? And what would hold you back now from doing just that and getting your consultant number? We'd love to teach you how. We'd love to support you. And gosh, I mean, Amy is 3 months into the business. 3 months down the line, you could be sharing with everyone the impact it's had on your life. And that's called passing it on. And that's what Mary Kay always asks us to do, is to pass it on. So thank you, Amy, for sharing. Thank you, everyone, for plugging in. And I look forward to seeing the ripple effect as this gets shared. You guys have an awesome night.
Bye, ladies. Thank you.